Good day everyone, I'm Jocelyn E. Agustin from Bachelor of Technology in Livelihood Education, major in Home Economics 4, and I'm the first reporter in Indigenous Creative Crafts. My report is all about the different tribes in Palawan, Part 1. So before we go on to our topic discussion, let us first identify our learning objectives. So at the end of the lesson, we should be able to, number 1, discuss the concepts of the tribes of Palawan. Second is to distinguish the different indigenous ethno-linguistic groups and their ways of life in Palawan. And the third and last, draw relevant life lessons and significant values from the different tribes of Palawan. Since our topic is all about Palawan, have you ever been in Palawan? So do you know that Palawan is the largest province in the Philippines kung saan nananahan ng iba't ibang indigenous ethno-linguistic groups such as the Tagbanwa, Palauan, Taot Bato, Molbog, Batag, Agutahinan, and Cuyonon that will be tackled as we go on to our discussion. So this group of people lives in remote villages. So when we say remote villages, they are far away from any kind of civilization or kind of population. Malayo po sila sa tao or sa kabihasnan. So sinasabi dito na long before yung mga Malay settlers ay dumating from Mahapahit Empire of Indonesia, meron ng mga taga-Palawan or meron ng mga Palawan tribes na nagre-reside doon. As it was written in the Philippine history, in year 1962, merong grupo or there was a team of anthropologists who found various fossils kung saan natagpuan nila iyon sa may Lipuon Point, which is now commonly known or mas kilala na siya sa tawag na Tabon Cave sa municipality ng Quezon in Palawan. The group of anthropologists that was led by Dr. Robert Fox discovered the fossils or remains of Homo sapiens, which was nagre-range yung edad sa 22,000 to 24,000 years of age during that time na nahanap nila yon. Those remains were then named Tabonman. Are we all familiar with Tabonman or Tabon Cave? The discovery of the Tabonman and the fossils found in the cave gave way to Palawan to earn the title, the Cradle of the Philippine Civilization. And those remains was used for further studies.
According to Antonio Pigafetta, the chronicler of Ferdinand Magellan, the remnant of Magellan's fleet landed in Palawan after Magellan's death. They were able to observe the way of life of the native people who were populating in Palawan at that time. In his writings, he highlighted how cultivated the fields are in the said province and that all the native people use weapons consisting of blowpipes, spears, bronze, and lombard. Pigafetta also mentioned the experiences he had such as witnessing cockfighting and fist fighting. He also discovered that the natives had their own way system of writing, which is composed of 13 consonants and 3 vowels, that they had a dialect of 18 syllables. He also included that the local king in Palawan during that time has 10 scribes who wrote down the king's dictation on the leaves. These natives that were mentioned by Pigafetta were probably the Tabunman. That was discovered by Dr. Fox. According to research, it is very likely that the Tagbanwas and the Palauans are descendants of the Tabon Caves inhabitants. It was further explained that these tribes have similarities when it comes to their language, farming methods, and a common belief in soul relatives.
Sa kasalukuyan naman, maraming grupo ng indigents ang lumipat sa Palawan, pero the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples only acknowledged 7 of those groups of people as true natives of Palawan. So 7 lamang ang in-acknowledge ng National Commission on Indigenous People. Now let us talk about the first tribe group in Palawan, which is the Batak. The Batak tribe is a group of indigenous people who live in the rugged interiors of the northeast portion of the province of Palawan. And when we say rugged interiors, ito yung kasulok-sulukang parte ng isang lugar. So this group of people lives close to nature and are extremely peaceful and shy. So sino ba namang hindi magiging payapa ang buhay or hindi magiging mahiyain kung ikaw ay naninirahan or nagre-reside sa isang lugar na malayo sa kahabihasnan, kagaya ng nabanggit natin kanina. Sinasabi rin dito na ang Batak people or yung Batak ay naniniwala sa nature spirits with whom they communicate their thoughts through the aid of babaylan. So have you ever heard of babaylan? So ang babaylan po ay ang parang kanilang tulay para maiparating nila sa kanilang mismong Diyos yung ang kanilang hinanaing sa puso. And then, or a shaman. Karamihan po sa mga shaman or sa kanilang mga babaylan ay babae. At present, there are only 500 or less Batak people remaining in the Philippines. So there are, sabi dito, meron na lang 500, halos 500 or mababa pa ang naninirahan na ngayon sa Pilipinas. So ganun na lamang sila kakonti. Dahil nga sa malakas na Western influence.
The Bataks are also called Tinitianes and are considered by anthropologists to be closely related to the Aitas of Central Luzon, another Negrito tribe. They are described as people who tend to be small in stature and has a dark complexion. They also have short, curly, most kinky hair, traits that earn the Negrito groups of their name. However, there are still debates as to whether the Bataks are related to others. Negrito groups of the Philippines or to other physically similar groups in Indonesia or as far as the Andaman Islands. For centuries, the Bataks have combined the hunting-gathering kind of lifestyle with seeding of useful food plants, kaingin. So we all know that kaingin, or a slash and burning farming method and trading it, is believed that they may have already had trading relations with Chinese merchants as early as 500 after that. During mid to late 20th century, Bataks were pushed out of their gathering grounds, which was by the sea, and was forced to move into the mountains by emigrant farmers who were mostly from Luzon. Living in less fertile areas, they attempted to supplement their income by harvesting and selling various non-timber forest products such as the rattan, tree resins, and honey. This was, however, resisted by the government and commercial collectors who claim that the Bataks have no legal right to the resources thus they are utilizing. Conservationists, on the other hand, have taken interest in the collection methods of the Bataks, which are more sustainable than the other techniques used by the commercial concessionaires. Batak were once nomadic people, but this changed when the government has given a small village for them. Still, they often go to gathering trips that would take them a few days at a time, a practice that both economic and spiritual value to them. Bataks are enemies. They believe that spirits reside with nature. The Bataks make a regular offering to the spirits, while shamans undergo spiritual possessions in order to communicate with the spirits to heal the sick. These days, pure Bataks or those whose parents both belong to the Batak tribe have become highly rare due to the incursion by immigrants and the exposure of the tribe to the society. During mid to late 20th century, Bataks were pushed out of their gathering grounds, which was by the sea, and was forced to move into the mountains by emigrant farmers who were mostly from Luzon. Living in less fertile areas, they attempted to supplement their income by harvesting and selling various non-timber forest products such as the rattan, tree resins, and honey. This was, however, resisted by the government and commercial collectors who claim that the Bataks have no legal right to the resources thus they are utilizing. Conservationists, on the other hand, have taken interest in the collection methods of the Bataks, which are more sustainable than the other techniques used by the commercial concessionaires. Batak were once nomadic people, but this changed when the government has given a small village for them. Still, they often go to gathering trips that would take them a few days at a time, a practice that both economic and spiritual value to them. Bataks are enemies. They believe that spirits reside with nature. The Bataks make a regular offering to the spirits, while shamans undergo spiritual possessions in order to communicate with the spirits to heal the sick. These days, pure Bataks or those whose parents both belong to the Batak tribe have become highly rare due to the incursion by immigrants and the exposure of the tribe to the society. So most Bataks would prefer marrying a person outside the tribe and will later on have children who will choose not to go by the norms of the tribe.
So, mas pinipili nilang mag-asawa ng labas dun sa tribo nila or ng hindi nila katribo. Kasi, as time pass by, mas pipiliin nun na hindi na sumunod sa norms na sinusunod ng kanilang tribo from the day that they were born and until the day that they die. And then, as an effect, Bataks are being absorbed into a more diffuse group of upland indigenous peoples who are slowly losing their tribal identity. So, as I was mentioned earlier, dahil sa strong Western influence, naaapektuhan nun yung mga iba't ibang tribes which na nagiging cause ng kanilang unti-unting pagka-banish ng kanilang mga kultura. And then, so dahil nga doon sa pagkonte or sa pagliit ng bilang ng mga tao sa ganitong klaseng tribo, ay nagkakaroon na ng mga debates or napapagtalon-talunan na ng iba't ibang tao kung mayroon pa bang nag-i-exist na ganitong klaseng grupo up until now sa panahon natin. Now that we are already done with the Bataks, let us move on with Agutaynen. So Agutaynen is an indigenous group and most likely to be found in the northern part of the province of Palawan, such as the Agutaya Island. So that's why the people there are called Agutaynen, because they are residing at or in Agutaya Island. So municipality of Rojas po yun. And then the municipality of San Vicente, municipality of Brooks Point, municipality of Taytay, Linakapan, they may also be occasionally spotted in Manila. So hindi lang natin nakikita yung mga Agutaynen sa iisang certain na lugar, but we can also see them yung ilan-ilan sa kanila, pwede natin silang makita sa Manila. So maybe they are residing in Manila para to find some work or to take education.
Agutaynens, however, does not have much information and exposure to the public since they are the only of a few of them, and there are almost no records about this group due to the separation of their area to the mainland of the province of Palawan. According to recent reports, this group of people has also begun embracing modernization.
Now that we're done with the two, which were the Batak and Agutaynen, let us move on with the Tagbanwa. So, as mentioned earlier, the Tagbanwa are believed to be the descendants of the Tabon men. And then, due to many similarities that they have when it comes to language, yung sa kanilang wika, yung sa kanilang alpabeto, sa kanilang practice of kaingin, which is yung farming through the use of fire, and then common belief in soul relatives. So naniniwala rin sila sa mga soul relatives. So meron din silang mga bababaylan.
The Tagbanwa tribe practice shifting cultivation of upland rice, which is considered as a divine gift. They are also known for their rice wine ritual called Pagdiwata. The cult of the dead is the key to the religious system of the Tagbanwa, who also believe in countless deities found in the natural environment. The Tagbanwa is one of the oldest ethnic groups in the Philippines that can be mainly found in the municipalities of Aborlan, Quezon, Calamian Island, Baras Coast, Busungo Island, Coron Island, and in some parts of El Nido, and even Puerto Princesa City. Tagbanwa are brown-skinned people with slim and erect stature and has straight hair. This ethnic group is divided into two groups, Central Tagbanwa and Calamian Tagbanwa. The two groups speak different languages and do not exactly have similar customs. Tagbanwas live in compact villages of 45 to 500 individuals. In 1987, there are about 130,000 of Tagbanwas living in Palawan at present.
That would be the end of my report, and I would like to leave a quotation. Indigenous people made huge contribution to this country. The biggest is in sharing the land and resources. People need to see that. Indigenous people should be viewed as the founding people of this land. Quotation by Perry Belliagard. I hope you learned something new from my report. Thank you so much everyone for listening. Once again, I'm Jocelyn E. Agustin from Bachelor of Technology in Livelihood Education, major in Home Economics 4, a teacher in the making. Have a good day everyone.